From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, January the 25th, 2021. A home in Gaza belonging to a member of the Hamas terror group exploded this weekend, apparently from materials that were being prepared there to use against Israel. The IDF tweeted photos writing, "What terrorists in Gaza tried to do this morning, prepare explosives to attack Israel. What terrorists in Gaza actually did this morning, cause an explosion in a civilian area inside Gaza. At least 30 people were injured in the blast." IDF spokesperson for Arabic media Avichai Adrai wrote on Twitter that the story of the house is the story of many homes in the Gaza Strip that are being used for weapons storage. He wrote they have turned homes into warehouses of weapons, military parts, and missiles for terrorist organizations, and the people who pay the price in the end are the innocent civilians. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced the closure of Ben Gurion Airport yesterday, completely locking down Israel's borders in what he called an unprecedented step to bring the coronavirus pandemic under control. Netanyahu told his cabinet of the closure, "No country has done what we are about to do. We are doing this," he said. "We are hermetically closing the skies, apart from very rare exceptions, in order to prevent the entry of mutated viruses and in order to ensure that we will advance quickly with our vaccines operation back to life, so that we will vaccinate more Israelis within a short time." Ben Gurion will be closed for 1 week. Well, there were riots in Israel against coronavirus lockdown restrictions this weekend by what Netanyahu called an extremist marginal group of the ultra-Orthodox communities in Bnei Brak and Beit Shemesh, who took to the streets, throwing rocks at police officers, with several officers injured, and destroying property, including setting a bus on fire in Bnei Brak and attacking its driver. Sephardic Chief Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef condemned the violence, saying that the rioters are desecrating God's name. Yosef said there is no justification for violent acts, and that should stop immediately, adding that this minority is tarnishing the name of the entire Haredi ultra-Orthodox public, whose vast majority is very far from such behavior. Netanyahu said Israeli authorities will deal with those rioters with a heavy hand, and about a dozen suspects have been arrested as of this time. Knesset member Merav Michaeli is the new leader of Israel's Labor Party, winning the party's primaries this weekend. She replaces outgoing Labor leader Amir Peretz. Well, veteran television and radio host Larry King died this weekend. King is estimated as having conducted some 50,000 on-air interviews with world leaders, celebrities, and everyday people across his decades-long career. King was born Lawrence Harvey Zeiger to Jewish immigrant parents in Brooklyn. His first job in radio was sweeping floors at a small AM station in Miami, working his way up to an award-winning 63-years-long career. King had a number of medical ailments and suffered several heart attacks. He was hospitalized for more than a week with COVID-19 at the beginning of the year. Larry King died Saturday at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles. He was 87. Israel's embassy in the United Arab Emirates is ready to open. Israel's foreign ministry shared a tweet with a photo of Ambassador and head of mission Eitan Naeh, who arrived in Abu Dhabi yesterday to open the offices, being run for now at a temporary location until a permanent one is found. The ministry wrote that the Israeli embassy in the UAE will promote the full range of relations between the two countries in all areas and expand ties with the Emirati government, economic bodies, and the private sector, academic institutions, the media, and more. Now, because of the coronavirus pandemic, there is apparently a bit of a delay in the embassy receiving the public, with the UAE's official WAM news agency saying, "We hope that the situation will improve and that the embassy opening process will be completed soon." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, January the 25th. At 7 o'clock, it's The Wisdom of Dr. Ruth. At 7:15, The Story of Jesus and Why Judaism is Separate and Distinct from Christianity in the series The Jewish Story Explained. At 7:30, author Yossi Klein Halevi discusses the current state of Israel and the world during COVID-19 and how the pandemic could reshape Israeli society for the better. At 8, former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley and Israel's former ambassador to the UN Danny Danon discuss issues challenging Israel, and Israeli innovators address a post-COVID world, with Liz Klayman from the 2020 Diplotech Global Summit of the Jerusalem Post. At 9, it's part 1 of Mark Golub's interview with Mordechai Kedar on L'chaim. At 10, Rabbi Naomi Levy speaks at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up next, Alan Dershowitz calls upon all Trump supporters to unite behind President Biden and explains why he is so pleased with many of Joe Biden's cabinet selections. That's from the daily podcast, The Der Show. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, January the 25th, 2021. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.